What is the best way to sell your car, and how do you make the most money buying and selling a car privately? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. I'm going to show you step by step how to sell your car privately in the easiest, safest possible way that will also get you the most amount of money. I'll also show you how to make the most amount of money when selling or trading a car into a dealership, and also go over the pros and cons of buying and selling privately. But before getting into it, a huge thanks to OMVIC, Ontario's vehicle sales regulator, for sponsoring a portion of this video. So let's start things off with how to sell a car privately. Now, before getting into this, it's really important to understand all the potential hassle, risk, and time investment that's involved in successfully selling a car yourself. It is not an easy or straightforward process. You need to be prepared to deal with a lot of people that may be interested in your car, potentially dozens of people. And remember, only one person in the end is actually going to be buying your car. Now, if you're prepared to give it a try, there are a few important things you can do in order to sell your car for a fair price successfully. The first thing that you need to do is you need to advertise your car on all the major online marketplaces. These include AutoTrader, CarGurus, Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace, and in the US you also have Auto Tempest and a few others. You need to create an ad for your car and take photos and write a description, which will appear on all these different marketplaces. The more exposure your car gets, the better chance you have of finding a buyer. The next step in the process is actually creating a professional, attractive, and detailed ad for your vehicle. Basically, you want to create the type of ad that you as a buyer would be attracted to and would want to see. We'll go over an example of an ad that I recently created for a family car that I helped sell privately myself. First off, you need to take good pictures of your car. Ads without good pictures or no pictures will not attract anyone, and buyers will just look elsewhere. So take several high quality pictures of both the exterior and the interior and get help with this if necessary. And also make sure that your car looks as clean and presentable as possible in the pictures. Pictures of a dirty car or a car that's filled with garbage just give off the impression of an owner that simply doesn't care. Now, this may sound obvious, but make sure you list the make, the model, the year, and the mileage of your car. You should also mention the transmission type, whether it's automatic or manual, and also whether it's two-wheel or four-wheel drive. And of course, you need to show your asking price. All of this is vital information that you must include. Now, for the description itself, describe the condition and the maintenance and service history of your car. Give a description of what kind of shape your car is in, both cosmetically and mechanically. Describe what kind of maintenance and service your car has received, and whether it has any major services that have been recently performed. And if you saved any service records or documentation of service history, make sure you mention it, because this will alleviate a lot of guesswork for the next owner. You should also highlight the good aspects of your car while touching on the bad. This will make you appear honest to shoppers and increasing your approachability. And also make sure you share whether your car has any products, such as accessories, an extended warranty, rust proofing, winter tires, a tow hitch, or anything else that you think is worth mentioning. And finally, make sure that you include your contact information and be as courteous and polite as you can. And whatever you do, do not use any kind of condescending words like serious buyers only or any variation thereof. You don't want to come across as a person that's difficult to deal with. Remember, an uninformative, disjointed, or impolite ad will just be ignored because it simply does not merit consideration, especially when there are likely dozens, if not hundreds of other ads out there for similar cars. And I can't stress this enough, you need to be prepared to deal with every single person that contacts you, including by email, text, and phone. You could potentially get dozens of inquiries from different people, and yes, ultimately in the end, a lot of them are just going to waste your time. That's simply how the process works. You also need to be extremely careful and be mindful of potential scammers. Watch out for any suspicious looking emails or text messages that are asking you for any kind of personal information, asking you to click on links, or say they're from another country and they want you to e-transfer the money. Chances are all these kinds of messages are just a scam. And there are tons of these types of scammers out there, so you need to be extremely careful. The good news is that if you follow these steps, you have a good chance of finding a buyer. If you want to keep things as safe as possible, just meet any potential buyers in a public place, including a police station parking lot, which is a really good location. And if you're going to go for a test drive with anyone, make sure you check their driver's license. And when you're finally ready to get the deal done and sign a bill of sale and exchange the ownership for payment, it's important to get your payment with either cash, e-transfer, or using a bank draft or certified check. And make sure to do it at a bank so that they can verify everything is real and not fake. Remember, there's tons of scams out there and you need to be extremely careful. Now, if you're not prepared to go through all of this and are turned off by the potential hassle, the scams, and the time investment, I really don't blame you, which is why you do have great alternatives. If you don't want to go through all the hassle of selling your car privately, the best alternatives is to sell your car directly to a dealership, or if you're buying a brand new car, just to trade your car into the dealership. If you want to sell to a dealer, which is often pretty quick and easy when compared to private sales, make sure to take advantage of online instant cash offer tools. Most of the websites I mentioned earlier, plus a few more like Carvana, Kelley Blue Book, or in Canada, Clutch and Canada Drives, have an option to sell your car to a dealer and get an instant cash offer. I recommend just using all of them and go with whichever one gives you the highest offer for your car. This is also a great way to gauge how much your car is worth, so that you know what a fair asking price would be if you want to sell your car privately or trade your car into the dealership. If you're going to trade your car into a dealership when buying a brand new car, in many areas a huge benefit of trading your car in is tax savings and loyalty rebates. When you trade your car into a dealership, the value of your car gets deducted from the price of the new car before sales tax is applied, which means that if your car is worth a lot of money, you could potentially save a lot of money in tax. And not only that, but if you're buying a new car that's from the same brand of car that you already currently own, you could potentially get some kind of loyalty rebate from the manufacturer, which means additional potential savings. So trading your car into the dealership definitely has some advantages. And if the dealership is giving you a very similar price to the instant cash offers that you got online, then you know that you're getting a fair price for your car. Needless to say, selling a car is not an easy process. But what about buying a car privately? Surely that's a lot more safe and straightforward. Well, not necessarily. There are certain risks that are involved when you buy a car privately. And the first major one is potentially buying a car from a curbsider. I talked about scams earlier in the video. Well, curbsiders are illegal, unlicensed dealers that are pretending to be private sellers. They can buy and sell tons of cars without a license, which is totally illegal. And oftentimes, the cars they sell can be junk, cars with rebuilt or salvaged titles, or cars with rolled back odometers. So whenever you're buying a car privately, you need to make sure that the person selling the car is the actual owner. And in order to do that, ask to see both the ownership of the car and the seller's driver's license to make sure that they match. And if they don't match, well, you could be potentially dealing with a curbsider. To report a curbsider and to learn more about curbsiding and your other consumer protection rights, just visit the OMVIC website. I'll put more information in the description below. Okay, that brings us to the next major issue with buying a car privately, which is the lack of consumer protection. Although the process of buying a car from a dealer is not always easy, it does offer certain protections which provide some peace of mind. Dealers are required to follow certain rules and regulations and make important disclosures about a car they are selling. And if they violate any of these rules and sell you a problematic car, you could use your consumer protection rights through your regulatory authority. In Ontario, that would be OMVIC, but other provinces have their own similar regulatory authorities as well. and so does the United States. So anytime you're buying a car privately, it is completely buyer beware. If there's any major problem with the vehicle that you purchase privately after the sale is complete, you really don't have any form of consumer protection, which is why you need to take all the proper precautions before you buy the car. Now this brings us to some of the benefits of a private sale. The first benefit is the ease of getting a pre-purchase inspection. Some dealerships may give you a hard time if you want to get a pre-purchase inspection done on any car that you're interested in buying, where you take the car to a reputable mechanic where they can check the car over to make sure that it doesn't have any major mechanical defects that you need to be aware of. But when you buy a car from a private seller, it's a lot easier to arrange this and get this done. And this is a step that you definitely should not skip. A pre-purchase inspection gives you a ton of important, valuable information on a car that you need to be aware of before you buy it. The next benefit of buying privately is that you get access to information that is normally not available when you buy from a dealer. You get to speak with the previous owner about how well they've taken care of the car, any recent service or repairs that have been done to the car, and you typically get to see all the documentation for all the service records and service history, which is usually not available from a dealership. So it really is a great source of information. Another benefit is being able to negotiate a better price. Now this is obviously not a guarantee, but it is generally easier to negotiate with a private seller when compared to a dealership. And that's certainly the case when you're buying a very low-priced vehicle. Private sales are often the best source for extremely affordably priced cars, such as cars that are priced below $5,000, which are typically a lot more difficult to buy from a dealership. So ultimately, there are pros and cons to both options, which you need to weigh in order to decide which is the best option for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you got value out of this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.